I'm going to use a piece of wood that I upcycled from a broken dresser. This is actually the side panel of one of the drawers, and it's already cut square, and they make a perfect sign. For my base coat, I'm going to put on a liberal amount of my homemade black chalk paint over the whole surface. Okay, that black chalk paint has completely dried. Now this is a pillar candle that I've cut the bottom off of. It still has the wick in it, but it's a perfect shape to use to distress your wood. You're going to take that wax and then put it right on its edge and rub it all over that piece of wood, wherever it looks like it might naturally wear. And then I'm just going to take it up and down a couple times across the full surface. Just like that, and you can see it's on, and I've pressed quite hard to leave quite a bit of wax on that piece of wood. Now if you find that you're not getting your wax to stay onto the wood very much, you can warm it up a little bit with a lighter. Just be really careful, and then rub it on the wood, and you'll see that you'll get more wax come off when you do that. I love a real distressed look, so I'm putting on a lot of wax. You can just kind of play around with it and see what you prefer. Try it on a test piece of wood and get used to it. Okay, for the top coats, I'm going to be using two different colors, and these are just dollar store acrylic paint, and I'm just going to use this little palette to put my acrylic paint in, and then I'm going to paint it right over top all of that wax. You want to put it on quite thick because you want it to have that look of being a layered chippy paint. You can also use chalk paint for this. You can use latex paint. I'm just using the acrylic because I liked the two colors that I could put together, and all of our stores here are closed, so my paint supply is running very low. Okay, now that coat has completely dried, and I'm gonna go back again with that wax and really aggressively add it all over the top, rubbing it back and forth. And like I said before, if you find that it's not coming off that well, you can always warm it up a little bit, and that will help the process. And this is just a pillar candle that I bought at the dollar store, but any kind of candle will work as long as you can get the wax to rub off onto your wood. You do want to stick with the white wax, so you don't want to use a colored wax because that could transfer into your paint. Okay, now we're ready to put the top coat on. Again, this is just the acrylic paint. You're going to put it on quite thick over the whole surface over top of all of that wax. Okay, top coat's completely dried. You're gonna get a scraper. This is just a scraper I bought at the dollar store. You can get them at the hardware store. And I'm just gonna aggressively scrape away at that wood. And anywhere where there was any wax left, it will scrape away, and it'll leave that color that was underneath the wax exposed. And you can already see the chippiness that's starting to show through. This takes a little bit of elbow grease and a little bit of patience, but just work away at it, and you want to make sure that you get all of the wax off, and you will be amazed at what you can create. Just look at that. All three colors are showing through: the black, the turquoise, and the yellow. Okay, now to finish it off, I always like to take my sander around the edges and expose a little bit of that wood. It just gives it a little bit more of an aged feature. This is just a 80 grit sandpaper that I have on my orbital sander, and it just will finish it off really nice. Okay, I have the piece of wood all finished, and now I'm going to turn it into a really fun summer sign. I'm going to use my Mod Podge reverse graphic technique, and I have shown this quite a few times in other videos. If you want to have the full tutorial, I'll put a link up above and down in the description. But you're just putting your Mod Podge mat over all of the graphic that I've printed off with my laser jet printer. press it on the wood, let it sit overnight, and then we're gonna rub off the paper and your graphic's gonna be left on the sign. This graphic will be available in my Etsy store. I'll put a link up above here and down in the description. And the lemon graphic is actually from the Graphics Fairy. She has amazing old vintage looking graphics. You should check out her site too. I'll put that down in the description. I'm just using a little bit of acrylic paint just to kind of make that graphic of the lemon pop a little bit, add some little white flowers, maybe paint the stems a little bit with brown and add a little bit more of a lemon color to the lemon just to finish it off really nice. And there you have the signs all finished, and I made it on a piece of wood that I distressed with a candle, and it's such an easy technique to take your wood to the next level. So get out your candles that you have stashed away in your craft supplies and give this technique a try. Thanks so much for watching today's video, and if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I love to read them. I'll be sharing so many more DIY, thrifting, repurposing videos, so if you aren't already following along, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, and that will let you know when I upload my next video. See you real soon. Take care and have a great day.